Alright, let's see what we got in the mail today. And for this package, take a look at it, see what's cracking, see what it's all about. Alright. Okay. Alright. Ooh, sweet. Love these Gemini mailers. Wow. Nice piece of cardboard for reinforcement. Let's see what's in here. Nice shrink wrap right there for shielding against the elements. It was raining here hard last night too, so I know this one went through some hell. Straight dump-a-lumping outside. Another piece. Cardboard on the back. Oh, hell yeah, bro. This is the cover I wanted too. Got the Kyle Ritter cover. Fuck yeah, dude. That shit's poppin'-loppin'. Sick. And I got a Kyle River cover too. Man, this is gonna look cool. The back. Sick, bro. Got the breaker of Jaws. The breakers of Jaws. It's gonna go cool in my man cave, right in the garage. Hey everybody, Batmerk here. Today I'm going to be reviewing Jawbreakers God King by Splato Comics. This book I backed by Indiegogo by your boy Zach. It's a YouTube channel. It's called Comics Matter with your boy Zach. Yeah, this book was it's got a few stories in it. It's got the God King book 3 of the Jawbreakers. Jawbreakers basically kind of like the Expendables with superpowers. So you got superpowered mercenaries. It's pretty cool. Yeah, kind of like the Expendables and G.I. Joe mixed with the kind of like superpowers, kind of like X-Men sorta. And it has like another little side story from a character that was in the last book, the last Jawbreakers book. It's a Zossi Respawn, and then this Devil Dog book written by Bane creator Chuck Dixon, co-creator, and then they have a preview of a new sci-fi book he's gonna put out. But yeah, let's get right into it. This basically picks up where the last yeah, I got a signature by the creator. Picks up where the last book was created. The last book was took place, and they were in Africa fighting a giant gorilla. Then they broke out of there and came back to their home turf of New York. And right here they're just kind of doing homages and catch-up sequences. This guy right here is Knife Hand. He's probably my favorite one. He can turn his hands into blades, like laser blades, and cut through stuff. But it's pretty crazy. Every time he uses them, these ninjas that trained him or that was part of his his league of assassins or whatnot, they come to his location. They teleport there, and he has to fight them. So that's pretty awesome. Then here's the main cat right here, Silkworm. I'll jump back to the cover one more time. These dudes. This is Silkworm, Cuffs, Knife Hand, Devil Dog, and Hell Priest. Yeah, jumping back in here. So they came to New York, and all their weapons were turned to rose petals by the new villain God King. So that's basically where it picks up. The spoilers. This book's pretty filled with spoilers, just to let you know. This cat, Devil Dog, was taken out, and he was taken out and by a sonic mine, an invisible minefield in Manhattan. So now they're basically trying to get to the God King to put a stop to him. And I believe this is his daughter, the Devil Dog's daughter, or Silkworm's. So now they're trying to make their way to God King. He's in this gigantic mech, kind of like Pacific Rim, and there's these the dirt dragons are the arch nemesis of the Jawbreakers. They get in a pretty cool fight sequence right here, and I like the way that looks pretty cool. I like the way that the writer chose to like talk or make these villains speak. So it's like no matter, we will slaughter the fools. We want. It's pretty cool. All of you now and for you get it. It's pretty cool though. Makes you like get into the story more when you're reading it like that. You know, it takes you out of a normal headspace and transports you into said story. So it's pretty awesome. And then the main character, to me, it's kind of a silkworm. He gets that fool and he puts him like in a little like lock with his silk, where he grabs him by his handkerchief and then just throws his ass over a car. It's pretty awesome. And then he jumps through the air and wham, just like just right to the stomach. And then he punches him through the air like there. Just knocks his teeth out. And throws his ass again down the street. And then Cuffs comes up and stops him, and there's some pretty funny banter back and forth about, basically not fighting in front of civilians and showing them, like they're not, like they're heroes and stuff like that. And they're just getting into like a little fight, and it's pretty well written talk between the two of them. Then they meet up down the street and they separate 20 minutes later. And Hellpriest gets on the roof. Basically, he's got this weapon, it's the God gun, and they're going to use it to put down the God King. And Knife Hand, he's kind of running off on his own like vendetta against his father. I guess his father is like a multi-billionaire or trillionaire type, and he never when Knife Hand was a child, he was kidnapped, and his father never used any of his money to help him. So Knife Hand actually like resents him for that, and he hates him. He wants him dead. And basically his dad used all of his money to just keep building his empire and building his building. So this fool Knife Hand he's just pissed, dude. He just goes in there and there's this scene. He's just taking all these fools out, just hacking them up. It's pretty cool. I don't know. The only thing is I don't know why the ninjas didn't come down and fight with them right there. It seems like they would have popped up somewhere. But he jumped. He's taking all these fools out, and then he gets on top of this elevator and cuts it with his hand, and just whoosh, just goes up. And then there's his dad and like his dad's assistant like watching him, I think, on the surveillance camera. And he's still flying up through the air of the shaft of the elevator, cuts through the roof, goes out of the roof, and he's still holding on to the elevator cable. And then he uses the elevator cable to swing down and cut the fucking building like right in half with his basically he swings with the elevator cord and cuts the building in half with his knife hand power. And it looks like he's like projecting, using a projectile technique with his knife hand capabilities, just cutting the fucking building in half. It's pretty cool, and this artist is really awesome. Really, really like makes the scope like really epic. Yeah, this is really cool. He's like, let him in, and he just goes in there and just chops right through looks like he's chopping right through the room and just fucks that guy up, his assistant, and then punches the ground, classic superhero style. It's like, you know who I am. Of course I do. Who wouldn't recognize their own face staring back at them? Welcome home, son. So I don't know if he's like a clone of him or what, but it's definitely father and son. And looks like there's like a little sensor that goes off in this floor, and it comes out of the ground. This little like cylinder, and cuts his Achilles tendon and takes him out. And then his dad pretty much like spanks his ass and like fucks him up. And he's still just seeking revenge for his dad, and his dad's like this evil, like, kind of like industrialist billionaire. So yeah, it's pretty cool. The story continues, and now the other part of the team, they're down in the waters of Manhattan searching for this mech. This is where the story kind of switches again, and it's pretty cool. This story kind of reminds me a lot, like I was saying, a lot like G.I. Joe and Pacific Rim. Like if you were to take elements of those stories and put them together and make it even better, like, yeah, I could totally see like Guillermo del Toro doing like a movie like this, or I hate to say it, but I'm gonna fucking say it. I think Michael Bay, could do this with some help of someone else, just because the scale of like movies he's done, like Transformers, and I mean, he also did some fun stuff like Pain and Gain and Bad Boys. Like I think he would be a kind of a good fit for Jawbreakers. I just think that he would need some help with like doing some of the hand to hand like combat fighting stuff. So we could see a lot more of that. But as far as like the Transformer stuff and a lot of the other things that are in the book, like the Godzilla stuff, or I don't know, or even Peter Jackson would be cool. There's a bunch of people that would do a really good job on this if they made it into a movie. So they're both fighting over who can control like the arms, who can control the legs, who can control the head, and they're rising up out of the water. And Devil Dog's about to, or not Devil Dog, Hell Priest is about to use his sight to snipe out the God King, but basically Knife Hand's jealous and not jealous. Knife Hand is like he's enraged with the fact that his father is still like getting away with stuff, so he wants to use the God Gun to kill his dad, and so him and Hell Priest are fighting over it, and he's just being selfish and thinking about himself. And yeah, it's funny. Like right here, they're in New York, Times Square, and you have like Ethan Van Sciver's comic company up on the marquee, and then you got your boy Zach's Iron Sights right there, and it's pretty cool that they put that in there. I always like it when like comic books creators like put stuff in the books in the background. And yeah, it just turns into a pretty decent fight between them, like with the mechs, kind of like Pacific Rim style. Really awesome. And then you jump forward to after the fight, they get to the God King's mech, and inside in there he is, and that's the God King. That's the big dog. The big motherfucker right there. And he looks really cool. Like he's got like a really cool cape design. The way that they lined it up around his like collar and stuff, it looks different. He charges cuffs, and he turns cuffs into these like little like digital like cubes. And yeah, not Knife Hand, Silkworm just like he soaks him up with his silk and just holds him in there. And basically God King is like this, from my understanding, this being that was created on another planet. So he's like an alien, kind of similar to I don't want to say he's similar to like, to me he kind of reminds me of like Superman a little bit, but he was created by these beings that put him on a planet and just let him stay there and just shooting him up, boom boom, and they let him stay there on this planet, and he's living there for like a millennia, and playing with different rodents and insects and vermin, and he thinks he's like a powerful being, and these humans come down and take him back to these superhumans take him back down to Earth, and they raise him as a human, and he's just filled with hate and just disgust, and he wants to be like an evil being. And so there are like these dark gods, these gods like from H.P. Lovecraft, like the Cthulhu gods. They're watching him, and they want to grant him the powers of being with them, and having evil power. There's another shot of like the cape. Looks pretty cool. I like the design of the God King. Looks pretty awesome. Kind of reminds me of the Superman from Superman 4, but like way fucking better. And he sacrifices Silkworm's daughter, but yeah, it's crazy. But then Hell Priest plucks out his eye, and he lines up the gun. They go through the portal to where the dimension of where where these like dark gods are. The God King and also Silkworm go into the portal, and Silkworm's basically telling him like, I'm with my permission, let me show you I can be like truly evil. And yeah, he's basically telling him stuff like that, and they're trying to line up a shot so they can shoot the God bullet through New York City into the mech and then into the portal. But you're gonna have to read the story and find out the ending for yourself. I'm not gonna spoil all of it. I mean, I spoiled like 90% of it, but still, I'm not gonna spoil all of it. And this is Zazi's Respawn. It's like another continuation of her character. The art in here is really sick too. It's pretty awesome. And just like a short story. I'm not going to go through too much of that. But it's really cool. And then there's this story right here in the back, The Devil Dog Origin. This one's written by the main co-creator, Chuck Dixon. This one's really fucking good. Kind of has, oh man, I don't want to spoil this one too much either, but it shows him come up through come up through the ranks in the armed forces, and he gets stuck on this mission. Well, first he's just going in and out of the military. Like, he just feels like alone in this world. He can never, like, you know, hold down a relationship, and he just keeps re-enlisting back into the armed forces, and he gets stuck in this one mission where, like, he has no way out, and he tells his crew that, you know, like, you know what, armor me up, and he gets all armored up and charges up on these guys, these terrorists, and just starts fucking shooting them up, man, and then they like capture him eventually. Sorry, I gotta show the story. And then they eventually capture him. They blast his ass, and they capture him, and they're about to cut his head off, like they do, unfortunately. And this fool fucking breaks free and fucking cuts him up. You know, this is kind of like an American power fantasy, and he fucking gets out, and shoots him up, fucking, and has one of the other motherfuckers film it. He shoots his way through, and yeah, then there's another preview in the back of this like sci-fi book that your boy Zach's putting out. It's called the Desolation Wave, and this book looks pretty cool too, a little something different. But I'll leave that for anyone else that wants to get this book. I think you can still find it on Indiegogo. Check out Jawbreakers God King, and it's like $25, and you get all this story. It's pretty cool, and you're supporting an independent creator that's trying to fight for other people that want to create comics, without being bullied around by malicious gatekeepers. And yeah, I also got this beer right here. My other buddy was telling me about. It's a Lagunitas IPA. It's pale ale. It's like a 6%. Figured I'd give it a shot, take a crack at it. Lagunitas, they basically put out like really quality beers. Like, everything I've had by them is pretty fucking decent. So there's that right there. Take a little tug at it. Wow, that is smooth. I mean, it's smoother than Hop Stupid, their other one, but yeah, that just a regular Lagunitas IPA, India Pale Ale. I definitely give that one 2 horns up. And then your boy Zach's Jawbreakers, fucking God King, give that also 2 horns up. And if you like comics, you like metal, you like movies, you like brewskis, ring that bell, subscribe, and hit that like button. And thanks for watching Metal, Movies, and Brewskis. Have a happy new year.